Welcome to Sri Digambar Institute of Technology, Dausa. I am Sadanand Parashar from Civil Engineering Department, subject Design of Concrete Structure, lecture number 28, topic name Analysis of Beam for Torsion. This is the unit of torsion, and this is the torsion unit first lecture. And in previous videos, we discuss about the footing. Torsion in reinforced concrete members. This is these are the beams under combined bending, shear and torsion. This is the space frame. This is inverted L beam, and this is the curved beam, and this is edge beam. On several situations, beams and slabs are subjected to torsion. In addition to bending moment and shear force, loads acting normally to the plane of bending will cause bending moment and shear force. However, loads away from the plane of bending will induce torsional moment along with bending moment and shear. Space frame, inverted L beam as in supporting sunshade and canopies. Beams curved in plane, edge beam of slabs are some of the example where torsional moments are also present. Here in this diagram, torsional moments are present. Bending theory, space truss analogy are some of the theories developed to understand the behavior of reinforced concrete under torsion combined with bending moment and shear. These torsional moments are of two types: primary torsion or equilibrium torsion, and second is secondary torsion or compatibility torsion. In primary torsion is required for the basic static equilibrium of the most of the statically determinate structures. Accordingly, this torsional moment must be considered in the design as it is major component. Primary torsion is major component. Uh, this is also be called equilibrium torsion, and this is the uh, important role play. So this is the major component. The secondary is required to satisfy the compatibility conditions between members. However, statically indeterminate structure may have any of the two type of torsion. Minor torsional effect may be ignored in statically indeterminate structures due to the advantage of having more than one load path for the distribution of loads to maintain the equilibrium. This may produce minor cracks without causing failure. However, torsional moments should be taken into account in the statically indeterminate structure if they are of equilibrium type and where the torsional stiffness of the members has been considered in the structure analysis. It is worth mentioning that torsion must be considered in structures subjected to unsymmetrical loading about axis. Clause 41 of Indian Standard Code 2000 stipulates the above, stating that in structures where torsion is required to maintain equilibrium, members shall be designed for torsion in accordance with clause 41.2, 41.3 and 41.4. However, for such determinate structure where torsion can be eliminated by releasing redundant restraints, no specific design for torsion is necessary, provided torsional stiffness is neglected in the calculation of internal forces. Adequate control of any torsional cracking is provided by the shear reinforcement as per clause 40 of Indian Standard Code 456 2000. Analysis for torsional moment in a member. The behavior of members under the effect of combined bending, shear and torsion is still a subject of extensive research. We know that the bending moment are distributed among the shearing members with the corresponding distribution factors proportional to their bending stiffness EI upon L, which is where E is the modulus of elasticity or elastic constant, and L is the EI upon L. I is the moment of inertia, and L is the effective span of respective members. This stiffness we also discuss in theory of structure, also we discuss. In a similar manner, the torsional moments are also distributed along the shearing members with the corresponding distribution factors proportional to torsional stiffness Gj upon L, where G is the shear modulus, J is the polar moment of inertia, and L is the effective span of the respective members. This torsional moment, torsional stiffness, we find from the torsional equation, which is tau J upon C theta upon L, where from this equations we find the torsional stiffness, which is Gj upon L. The exact analysis of reinforced concrete members subjected to torsional moments combined with bending moment and shear forces is beyond the scope here. However, the caudal provision of designing such members are discussed. Approaches of design for combined bending, shear and torsional as per Indian Standard Code 456 2000. As per the Code of Indian Standard 456 2000, the longitudinal and transverse reinforcements are determined taking into account the combined effect of bending moment, shear force and torsional moment. Two empirical relations of equivalent shear and equivalent bending moment are given. These fictitious shear force and bending moment designated as equivalent shear, equivalent bending moment are separated functions of actual shear and torsion and actual bending moment and torsion respectively. The total vertical reinforcement is designed to resist the equivalent shear, which is denoted by VE. Here E means equivalent and V denoted for shear. And the longitudinal reinforcement is designed to resist the equivalent bending moment, which is we can take ME1, ME2 as explained. These design rules are applicable to beams of solid rectangular section. However, they may be applied to flanged beams by substituting BW for B. Indian Standard Code 456 further suggested to refer to specialist literature for the flange beam, as the design adopting the code proceeding is generally conservative. Critical sections. According to the Indian Standard Code 456 clause 41.2, sections located less than a distance d from the face of the support is to be designed for the same torsion as computed at a distance d, where d is the effective depth of the beam. From overall depth we deducted nominal cover, then remaining portion, which is small d, which is we called effective depth. Shear and torsion. The equivalent shear, a function of the actual shear and torsion moment, is determined from the following empirical relation. This is the formula for actual shear, which is VE equal to VU plus 1.6 into TU upon B, where VE is the equivalent shear, VU is the actual shear, and TU is the actual torsional moment, and B is the width of the beam. In this formula, the equivalent nominal shear stress, which is tau V, we determined tau V by the formula VE upon BD, and this is the we find from this formula, and VU is the actual shear. So from this formula we find V, and from this formula we find tau V. This is the nominal shear stress. However, tau V shall not exceed tau C maximum according to the Indian Standard Code. So, according to the relation, tau V is less than from tau C maximum, and tau C maximum we find from the Indian Standard Code table 20, and compare with this tau v, and if tau v is less than this value, then hence okay. Minimum shear reinforcement is to be provided as per clause 26 of Indian Standard Code 456 if the nominal shear stress tau v does not exceed tau v both longitudinal and transverse reinforcement shall be provided as per clause 41 of Indian Standard Code and explained according to the section 6. If tau v exceed tau c, given in table 19 of Indian Standard Code 456/2000, so if this value is exceed, then we redesign. Reinforcement in members subjected to torsion. Reinforcement for torsion shall consist of longitudinal and transverse reinforcement as mentioned in section 6 of Indian Standard Code 456/2000. The longitudinal flexure tension reinforcement shall be determined to resist an equivalent bending moment, which is ME1. ME1 is the first equivalent moment, which is the MU plus MT, where MU is the bending moment at the cross sections, and MT is the we find from the formula according to the Indian Standard Code, which is TU upon 1/7 into bracket 1 plus capital D upon MT formula, which is MT equal to TU upon 1/7 into 1 plus capital D upon small d, where this is the overall depth and this is the effective depth. Sorry, this is the B, this is the width. So TU is the torsional moment, this is the overall depth, and this is the width of the beam. The longitudinal flexure compression reinforcement shall be provided if the numerical value of MT exceed the numerical value of MU. Such compression reinforcement should be able to resist an equivalent bending moment ME2 and ME1 for ME1 ME1 is MT plus MU, and for ME2 MT minus MU. The ME2 will be considered as acting in the opposite sense to the moment MU. This is the reinforcement we provide in beams. Here this is the area of steel at bottom side. This is also we called tension steel, and this is the compression side steel, upper side steel. This is we also known as compression steel, and this is the overall depth, which is denoted by capital D. If we deduct this bars area, then this is called nominal cover. If we deduct from overall depth minus nominal cover, then remaining portion, this is the effective depth. And this is the width of the beam. Here two leg strips, which is denoted that we provide two reinforcement bars. Transverse reinforcement consisting of two-legged closed loops enclosing the corner longitudinal bars shall be provided, having an area of cross section ASV is given below. This is the formula for ASV: TU upon SV upon B1 into D1 into 0.87 Fy plus Vu upon SV upon 2.5 D1 0.87 Fy. This is formula we can also written as SV upon 0.87. We can also written as ASV equal to SV upon 0.87 Fy bracket TU upon B1 D1 plus Vu upon 2.5 D1. So in this formula, B1 is the center to center distance between corner bars, and D1 is the center to center distance between corners bars. This is the B1 is the in the direction of width, and D1 is the in the direction of depth, and center to center distance. And SV is the spacing of the strips reinforcement, and T is the torsional moment, V is the shear force. However, the total transverse reinforcement shall not be less than ASV not less than from this ASV greater than or equal to tau V minus tau C into BSV upon 0.87 Fy. Requirements of reinforcement. Beam subjected to bending moment, shear and torsional moment should satisfy the following requirements. Tension reinforcement. The minimum area of tension reinforcement should be governed by, which is AS equal to minimum reinforcement formula, which is AS equal to 0.85 BD upon Fy. This is the minimum reinforcement formula. In this formula, AS is the minimum area of tension reinforcement, B is the width of the beam, D is the effective depth of the beam, Fy is the characteristic strength of reinforcement. The maximum area of tension reinforcement shall not exceed 0.04 BD, which means that we not provided reinforcement more than 4% of the overall area. Compression reinforcement, the maximum area of compression reinforcement shall not be exceed 4% of the overall area. They shall be enclosed by strips for effective lateral restraint. Side face reinforcement, beams exceed the depth of 750 mm and subjected to bending moment and shear shall have side face reinforcement. However, if the beams are having torsional moment also, the side reinforcement shall be provided for the overall depth exceeding 450 mm. The total area of side face reinforcement shall be at least 0.1% of the wave area and shall be distributed equally on the two faces at a spacing not exceed 300 mm or wave thickness, which value is less, we select. Transverse reinforcement, the transverse reinforcement shall be placed around the outermost tension and compression bars. They should pass around longitudinal bars located close to the outer face of the flange in T and L beams. Maximum spacing of shear reinforcement, the center to center spacing shear reinforcement shall not be more than 0.75 D for vertical strips and D for inclined strips at 45 degree, but not exceed 300 mm, where D is the effective depth. Minimum shear reinforcement, this has been discussed in section 6 of Indian Standard Code. Distribution of torsion reinforcement, the transverse reinforcement shall consist of rectangular closed strips placed perpendicular to the axis of the member. The spacing strips shall not be more than at least this formula or 300 mm, where x1 and y1 is the short and long dimension of the strips. Longitudinal reinforcement should be placed as close as possible to the corners of the cross section. Reinforcement in flange of T and L beams. For flange in tension, a part of the main tensile reinforcement shall be distributed over the effective flange width or a width equal to 1/10 of the span, which is smaller. For effective flange width greater than 1/10 of the span, nominal longitudinal reinforcement shall be provided to the outer portion of the flange. Thank you.